It definitely helped.
So let's go into that play, man, because I know when we were breaking down the game beforehand, we break it down with a former offensive coordinator, Al Borges. He said, "Listen, watch. They're going to be doing a lot with motions and shifts to kind of get matchups and kind of throw off their defense, and they're going to get some great matchups in this game." I didn't know exactly what matchups they were looking for, but it felt like you got a matchup because you wound up. It felt like on a linebacker on that play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was like a foot race at that point. So kind of take us into what you guys saw during the week. And then was that kind of a situation where you felt like you were going to get a matchup?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. We knew Bama obviously got great athletes, and, but we kind of, just from studying them, we understood that sometimes they, might over-communicate a little bit, or, sometimes things get mixed up when you're moving around a whole lot. So that was kind of our plan, was to keep things going. And then, that play, Rome had motioned over. So then my route popped open. I had a backer on me, and that was a matchup we wanted for that play, in that situation. And, it worked out. I was able to get around the corner and really just got around the corner, saw the pylon, and ran as fast as I could. So.
Yeah, it was a foot race.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you saw the tape, right? You saw the tape. So now, here's the thing. I think that surprised some people. But I wasn't surprised because here's what I know, man. I kind of know a little something about your athletic background. I mean, football star. They say that, man, you did some things on the basketball court. I've heard you were a little lacrosse guy too, right?
Yeah. And
lacrosse guy back in the day as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
High jump champ too, right?
Yeah, high jump. Won nationals twice for that. Came second 1 year for that, so that was definitely something. And then, lacrosse I played in 4th grade, 5th grade,
oh, man,
around that time.
I do my research.
Yeah, I'm surprised you knew that one. But, yeah, my parents had us in all different types of stuff. Growing up, they were always just, we're kids, so they were like, you don't got nothing to do, go play some sports. I had one of my best friends started playing lacrosse. I ain't had nothing going on in the spring. My parents was like, yeah, go ahead, try that. So, yeah, did that for a couple of years. Track I did pretty much my whole life growing up. Basketball I did all through elementary school and middle school. And football was always the one, though, that, it was the most fun. That's what my dad played, and, that's kind of just what I stuck with.
And so what the other thing that sticks out to me, because you just won a national championship with Michigan. You obviously, high school, you guys, championship pedigree in high school, too. In Little League, championship there as well. It's like, man, all you do is win championships, man. What about that piece of it?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to be on some good teams with great teammates. So, yeah, really, middle school, we won nationals twice, 7th to 8th grade. There was one point where it had been like probably 6 years. I think I probably lost 3 games maybe. So, yeah, no, I had definitely had a good time in football as a winner.
Would you ever sit and think, it's not like you're just there. Like, you contribute to that. You're a piece of that.
Yeah.
You're part of the reason for that. Do you think about how you contribute to why the teams you're on do so much winning?
I don't know if I've really ever just sat and thought about it, but I think it's something definitely as I get older and, stuff like the Rose Bowl and stuff like that where I'm starting to appreciate it more. I think when I was younger, it was I kind of just took it as that's how it's supposed to be. Like, that's just how it is. And now I think just being on a bigger stage, you kind of take more time to sit back and really realize what's going on and just really appreciate it and, look forward for more.
Here's why I asked that, man, because, you're in a situation now where you're the guy that other guys are looking to. Roman's gone, CJ's gone. You're the older guy in the room along with CJ, with Colston and, Donovan. You guys have been grinding as the top guys out there. So the youngsters who all they've done is go to Big Ten championships, right? They weren't around when COVID season and when it was rough and that kind of thing. So, they think it's just supposed to be that way, and you kind of got to be one of the ones to kind of tell them, hey, man, it's a certain sacrifice you got to make to get where we got to.
Yeah, even like me, Coach, and our class coming in, our first season was great, obviously, but we came in like committed right off that, the bad season, that COVID season. So, right when we got on or came in, the team was hard on us, getting us to understand. So I think we kind of just trying to push that same thing because You know, obviously we've been doing things right, and you know it's worked. So just trying to get it in the young guys' heads that you know this is how it goes here, and you know if you want this to be a normal, this is how you got to work.
Yeah, man. I kind of put your situation different than these other guys because I understand what you're saying in that you come in and it's winning, but when you come in, the coach that recruits you leaves right away.
Yeah.
Like it's like you get here and Josh Gaddis is out the door. Steve Kasula, the other coach that recruits you, he leaves. He's out the door. So immediately your comfort zone is disrupted. Right? So to me, that's kind of that adversity that a lot of these other guys don't really have to really account for, and you had to deal with that right away. So I sort of think that's kind of the same as what a lot of these other guys had to go through coming in, kind of have to get with changing the culture and that kind of thing. So I kind of look at what you had to go through coming in a similar way. How did you do that? How did you deal with that coming in, so much change right out the gate?
I think it was definitely difficult just because, you know, like when you commit, that's who you plan on being there with. But at the same time, once you got around the team, they had a good season the year before, and you know, they kind of had figured out how it needs to go to get to where they need to. So then when we come in, it's really just going along with, you know, what the guys are saying, you know, building new relationships with, you know, new coaches and all that. But regardless of who it is, like coming off that season, like you know what you need to do to get there. So it's really just keeping going regardless of who's there.
Is your head spinning a little bit though? You get there and then immediately Coach Gaddis is like,
yeah, no, it was a little bit where you know, you just like, well, dang, like, I don't like, you know, I just spent all my time here talking to them, you know, committed to them, all that. But, you know, then there's a certain point where you're like, well, you know, I can't do nothing about it. This, you know, this is who I'm gonna be with. This is, you know, this is who we gonna roll with. So make the best of it.
So I wonder if that's part of what kind of makes you guys as a crew, as a team, makes you tighter, and maybe even that early enrollee class kind of makes you tighter. Was that something that helped bring you guys closer together?
I don't know if it was necessarily just the change, but I think just the culture as a whole on our team is just our strength coaches, Coach Herb talked about it, Coach Tress talks about it a lot, just like we don't care what's going on. We don't care about outside noise. We don't care about change. We don't care about weather. Like we know what we got to do, and you just got to go handle it regardless of, you know, what's going on outside.
So just watching you from afar, it feels like, it seems like nothing really phases you, man. I don't know if that's true. You know, if you just, you know, you can just brush stuff off, or if you just handle it on your own where no one can really see it. But do things bother you? Do things get to you? Do things get you down and you got to have people pick you up? I mean, how do you process adversity?
I think I do a good job doing it, but, you know, at the same time, you know, we all human. We all gonna handle things differently. We all, you know, gonna have certain feelings about certain situations. But, you know, I guess for me in this position, you kind of just keep it pushing, don't want to show it, and just understand that nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Nobody's gonna, you know, take it easy on you just because you ain't feeling great. So in this position, it's at the same time, it's a business. So sometimes you just got to keep it pushing, and a lot of times, though, that's what the great players do. And, you know, you kind of see that when you come in here, you see how other guys are handling it, and just understand fast that you got to make stuff happen for yourself.
So how long, because you suffered the ACL injury, how long before you start feeling like you again?
Probably a little over a year, I would say, because first spring ball I was there, I had to wear a brace, so it just felt off. It felt weird, like, you know, your knee's still a little weak. And then I say that by that fall camp, you know, it's off, so you start feeling normal again. But I don't know, it never completely gets back to, you know, feeling great. But definitely after probably about a year, I started feeling good for sure.
And then you start feeling like you could do your thing,
you
make some plays.
You start, you know, not thinking about things as much when you're doing it, just go play.
And then so one number 8 leaves, and then I swear, man, I can't be the only one that have said this to you. I started like, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Ronnie. Anybody else ever said that to you?
Yeah, I've heard that. Probably, I heard that more than anybody, for sure. Even Ronnie, his T's chased me before. Like when they tagged me in a picture, he'd be like, "Oh, look, I thought it was me for a second." So yeah, it's definitely some resemblances, and yeah, I definitely hear that a lot.
Yeah, was anything in his game that you take, or is anything that you borrow, or you guys just kind of alike, or are you just kind of similar in the way that you play?
I think we similar in the way we play, but definitely him being in my freshman year, I definitely tried to watch him and tried to see what he was doing, and because Ronnie's not the biggest, the fastest guy, just like I am, but he makes it work. He's patient. He, switched things up, and he was kind of just creative in his route. So definitely tried to take that from him and just apply it to mine.
Yeah, man. And so here you are, as you have made your way, and I really looked at how the offense has evolved going into last season, and you really saw JJ emerge, and that had to feel special because the chemistry that you guys, I know he had chemistry with all the receivers, but did you feel like you guys had a special connection? I always felt that. Did you feel that way too?
Yeah, it was, but it's been built up over years, so it was kind of just, it felt normal, I guess, going with him. Like it was kind of just an understanding of how we were thinking things, and it was definitely things I had to learn, like once I got here, just because, he had been here for a year, so he understood that there's, certain routes or concepts that, it's got to go that way, and I had to pick up on that. But as far as just natural things, like it picked up pretty easy and just, felt good being back out there.
So now developing that same kind of rapport. I'm not talking about rapport. There's a communication. There's like a symbiosis that a receiver and a quarterback get.
Right.
That you had with JJ over years. You guys are like brothers.
Right. How
do you develop that with guys that you haven't known as long? How do you develop that with this group of quarterbacks?
So far it's just been, we had spring ball, but then just getting with them, after lifts and running routes and stuff like that. And then I guess most of it, I think a lot of it will come down to competition, like in fall camp. That's when you'll run around. And even we had these conversations in spring ball, but just talking to them, communicating, seeing what they see, what we see, and just, because naturally you're going to see things different as a receiver than a quarterback. Quarterback's going to see it different. So just kind of getting that level of understanding with each other.
If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Ride like the Wolverines. Feel like a Wolverine when you ride with Golden Limo, the proud transportation partner for many of Michigan's sports teams and the primary transportation provider for Michigan Wolverines football. All you have to do to book your Golden Ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/golden ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today.